Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. Jai Shri Krishna. Okay. Welcome to the complimentary lesson today. Just for your information, we have completed module 1 last week. Excellent turnout and excellent feedback, excellent results on the test papers we were sending out. We are just waiting to set up the exam paper, and once it's announced, we'll let all of you know the date, the time, and what the structure is. We just need to make sure we're all aligned with our CPD colleagues.
CPD.
Yeah, and then we will advise you once we've got all the information as to how we're going to run that. So today's topic is Shreenathji's Charan chains. So we're going to take this in 2 stages. The first, we look at Shreenathji's Charan and the power and the quality of Charans, and we'll go on to the Charan chains. We have got just enough time to cover both. So I think if once we know the Mahima of the Charans, then we can go into the Charan chains. So before we start, obviously, with the Mangala Charan, Bhavna Ben will do the Mangala Charan for us.
जय श्री कृष्ण बधाई शिवाधीश की जय, श्री गोसाई जी परम दयाल की जय, श्याम सुंदर श्री यमुने माधव की जय, श्री गोवर्धन की जय, श्री गोपाल लाल प्यारे की जय, श्री यदुनाथ जी प्यारे की जय। घरे बिराजमान આપણા સર્વના ઠાકોરજીના ચરણ કમલમાં દંડવત કરીએ। બધા હાથ જોડજો પ્લીઝ, when we are doing the dhyanas and mangalacharan. Thank you. चिंता संतान हंतारो यत्पादाम्बुजरेणवः स्वीयानां तानिञ्जाचार्यन् प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। यदनुग्रहतो जन्तु सर्वदुःखातिगो भवेत् तमहं सर्वदा वन्दे श्रीमद्वल्लभनन्दनम्। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमामि लीला क्षीराब्धिशायिनं लक्ष्मी सेव्यमानं कलानिधिं चतुरभिश्च त्रिभिस्तथा षड्भिर्विराजिते योऽसौ पंचधा हृदये मम। We had the meaning taught in the first module, which people might have missed out. So join in for module 2, please. Mangalacharan.
I'll do it in English. And then
yeah.
I'll just do the Mangalacharan in English. I bow repeatedly to my Guru Sri Vallabhacharya Ji. The particles of his lotus feet destroy all the worries of his followers. I bowed to the Lord, bowed to my Gurudev, who has brightened my eyes, blinded by the darkness of ignorance by applying the collyrium of knowledge. I bow to Sri Krishna, who is resting on the Sheshnag and who is the heart of Sri Vallabhacharya. The lila is in the form of an ocean on which my heart, Sri Vallabhacharya, is adorned by thousands of Lakshmiji devotees, all involved in his lila. I bow to the 5 parts of Srimad Bhagavatam's 10th canto. The 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes the divine leelas of Sri Krishna. It is divided into 5 parts, chapters. 4 chapters of Janam, Sri Krishna's birth. 7 chapters of Tamas, Sri Krishna's Tamas Leela, which is further divided into 4 subdivisions. 7 chapters of Rajas Leela, Shri Krishna's Rajas Leela, which is further divided into 4 subdivisions. 7 chapters of Satvik Leela, Shri Krishna's Satvik Leela, which is further divided into 3 subdivisions, 6 chapters of Gun, Sri Krishna's divine virtues. These 5 chapters of Sri Krishna reside within my heart. Now we'll do the Pratsama.
So we'll do the Pratasmaran. Yad Sat Badko in the Sad Nidhi Swarup Smaran. Shri Govardhan Nath Pad Yugalam Hayangavina Priyam Nityam Shri Mathuradhipam Sukhakaram Shri Vithalesham Muda श्रीमद्द्वारवतीश गोकुलपतिं श्रीगोकुलेन्दं विदुं श्रीमन्मन्मथमोहनं नटवरं श्रीबालकृष्णं भजे श्रीमद्वल्लभविठलो गिरिधरम् गोविन्दरायाविदं श्रीमद्बालकृष्ण गोकुलपति नाथं रघूणं तथा एवं श्रीयदुनायकं किल घन श्यामं च तद्वंशजान् कालिन्दीं स्वगुरुं गिरिं गुरुविभु स्वीयप्रभुश्च स्मरेत्.
Worship Sri Govardhanathji's lotus feet and young Navneet Priyaji, who loves fresh butter. Worship eternal Sri Mathuradhishji, giver of pleasure, and ever pleased Sri Vithaleshji. Adore Sri Dwarkadishji, Sri Gopulnathji, the Lord of Gokul, and Sri Gokul Chandramaji, the moon of Gokul. Worship Madan Mohanji, the enchanter of even Cupid. Worship Sri Natwar Prabhu, dancing child Krishna, the supreme actor and lover, and the divine infant, Sri Balkrishna. Remember Sri Vallabhacharya, his son Sri Vithalnathji, as well as Sri Vithalnathji's 7 sons, Sri Girdarji, Sri Govindji, Sri Balkrishna Lalji, Sri Gokulnathji, Sri Raghunathji, Sri Yadunathji, and Sri Ghanshyamji. Remember their lineage. Sri Yamnaji, your own Guru, the blessed mountain Girajji, as well as Sri Krishna, your Guru worships. Remember your own Sri Thakurji, the one you serve. Sri Mahaprabhuji's Dhyan.
Okay, we're going to do all the Swarup Dhyan now. Join your hands. Saundaryam nijaradagatam prakatitam stri gudabhatmakam pumarupancha punastadantaraгаtam pravivishat swapriye संश्लिष्ट उभयो बभौ रसमयः कृष्ण हि यत् साक्षिकं रूपं तत्तृतीयात्मकं परमभिध्येयं सदा वल्लभम्.
We'll do the Dhyan in English now. Shri Krishna manifested from his own heart an exceedingly lovely form of Shri Swamiji's secret and loving feminine mood. Then Shri Swamiji manifested the all-attractive male form of Shri Krishna from her heart. These forms then entered their beloved Sri Vallabhacharya and made him not only a nectar-filled combination of both divine forms, but their witness as well. Always contemplate this magnificent threefold form of beloved Sri Vallabhacharya. Sri Gopinathji.
Shri Vallabha Pratinidhim Tejorasim Dayarnavam Gunatitam Gunanidhim Shri Gopinatham Ashraye.
the representative of Sri Vallabh, the storehouse of effulgence, the ocean of compassion, who is beyond worldly attributes, the treasure of transcendental. I take refuge in Sri Gopinathji. Sri Gosaiji's name.
सायं कुञ्जलयस्थ आसनम् उपविलसत्स्वर्णपात्रं सुधोतं राजज्ञोपरितं परितनुवसनं गौरवं भोजवक्त्रं प्राणानायं यनासा पुटिनिहितकरं कर्णराजद्रिमुक्तं वन्दे रथोन्मिलिताक्षं मृगमदतिलकं विठ्ठलेशं सुखेशम्.
Vittalnaji's form in English. Bow to Sri Vittalnaji, son of Sri Vallabhacharya, who sits in a lovely bar at sunset. In front of him are shining golden vessels for his Sandhya prayers. He is wearing a sacred thread, a delicate cotton dhoti, and a shawl. His face shines like a lotus as he controls his breath by performing pranayam, placing the fingers of his right hand on his nose. His ears are adorned with pearl earrings and his eyes are half closed. His forehead is adorned with a musk tilak and lovely locks of hair. Shri Krishna's Dhyan.
बर्हापीडं नटवरवपु कर्णयो कर्णिकारं बिभ्रद्वासः कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं च मालां वृन्द्राणवेणो अधरसुदया पूरयन् गोपवृन्देह वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशद्गीतकीर्तिः. श्री गोपाल लाल प्यारे की जय.
Just do the Krishna's Dhyan in English. Sri Krishna is adorned with a peacock feather and his ears are graced with flowers. His shawl is the color of gold. He wears a garland made of forest flowers and appears as the actor husband. He is the Swamiji's choice, their lord and husband. He fills the holes of his flute with the nectar from his lips. His praises are sung as he enters Vrindavan, surrounded by his garland friends. His lotus feet appear splendid and create talents wherever they touch the earth. Gopalal Pyare Ki Jai. Okay. So we are going to start with Srinathji's Charan Chains, which is a commentary by Sri Harraiji, Mahaprabhu Sri Harraiji. We're going to start with the introduction to the Charans first and then go into the Charan Chains, as I said at the beginning, because I think it's important for us to understand the samarthi and the benefits of worshipping the Charans and then the Charan Chains. And the Charan Chains are basically the birthmarks underneath Thakurji's feet. So, there are about 16 of those, but we'll cover them as we go in. So let's do an introduction to who Sri Harraiji is. Sri Vallabhacharya's son is Sri Vittalnathji, who's Sri Gosaiji, who we covered in the lesson last week, for those who did module 1. And then Sri Gosaiji, Sri Vittalnathji's son is Sri Govindraji. Sri Govindraji's son is Sri Kalyanraji. I've got to thank Sri Yadunathji for being able to source this image for me. I could not find Sri Kalyanraji's image anywhere, and he blessed Bhavna Ben, who I asked to find this, and he actually made the effort in his busy schedule to find us Sri Kalyanraji's image. So we're truly blessed to have Kalyanraji present amongst us today. Sri Kalyanrai Prabhu ki jai jai. So Sri Kalyanraji's son is Sri Harraiji. So again, I think we'll have a whole module on Sri Harraiji later on. So I think our modules are just going up and up and up. We are blessed. So Sri Harraiji says, satsang is important. Satsang is seva fal, reward. So just to explain that quickly, when you do your seva and you attend satsang, when you go and do satsang, when you join classes like this, you meet up with other Vaishnavas to do satsang, that is the fall of your seva. Because you perform seva, you're getting more, exposure to more Pushti Marg and your satsang. When we are praying, we mainly focus either on the Mukharvind or the Charanarvind, so either the face or the feet of Sri Thakurji. We also sing praises of Mukharvind and Charanarvind. And obviously, we know Surdasi's famous Prad, which we all sing in the ashray. And then Srimad Bhagavatam, Gopi Git, blessings of Sri Thakurji's feet destroy all the sins. So let's look at some of these now. So the first one is Bhrigu Rishi. There's a story on Bhrigu Rishi. He tested all the devtas, Vishnu, Mahesh, Shivji, and Brahmaji. And just quickly, he went to test Vishnuji, Shri Krishna, and he went and kicked him. So Vishnuji has actually let that mark be on his left side of his chest. So that mark is still there. So that's Bhrigu Rishi's lanchan on his. That's one of the feet marks on Sri Krishna. Once, when Swamiji was in Man, she shied away, upset with Thakurji, as ladies do sometimes, and so do men. Sri Thakurji was unable to appease her. He tried very, very hard. In the end, he gave up, he kneeled down, and he touched her feet, Swamiji's charan with his forehead. When he got up, Swamiji could not stop laughing. She was finding it so funny. The kumkum from her feet had actually marked Shri Krishna with a tilak mark on his forehead. So,
hence is the feet mark.
Yeah, hence the U. So there you go. There's an image of Shri Krishna bowing down to Shri Swamiji. Okay. And Shri Thakurji's tilak is in the bhav of Shri Swamiji's feet, and our tilak is in the bhav of Shri Thakurji. So when we do our tilak, we are looking at Thakurji's feet and we think of Shri Thakurji's feet. So meditation on the 16 charan chins, and with Thakurji's grace, we will get darshan and lila anubhav. So there's a challenge at the end. So that'll be interesting to see how many of us do get that benefit. And then we'll do a survey in the following month's lesson. Okay, in Ras Leela, Sri Thakurji disappeared. Gopis were only able to trace Sri Thakurji by looking at the charan chins, the birth foot marks on the Vraj Raj. Similarly, Akrurji, upon arriving in Vraj, saw Sri Thakurji's charan chins in the Vraj Raj and followed them to Nand Yasoda's abode to go and convince them to let Sri Krishna go to Mathura. Again, it's a long story, which I'm sure we can recite some other time. Today, Vaishnavas who are fortunate, blessed, and in bliss may have the glimpse of the charan chains on the Vraj Raj when they visit Vraj. Chains are underneath the feet, and with Sri Thakurji's, Sri Vallabh's, Vallabhkul's Krupa, you may be blessed to have the darshan of these chains. Shri Krishna walked around Vraj barefooted. He never put any footwear on his feet. His feeling was that the cows are walking barefooted everywhere, so why should I adorn something? I love cows and I'm not going to adorn any footwear on my feet. Shri Krishna sucked his own toes. So this is all related to the feet, as you will get the... and he was curious as to why everybody praises his feet. So he started sucking his toe to find out. And that's the image of the Balkrishna sucking his toe on a banyan leaf. And now I will request Bhavna Ben to recite this lovely hymn for us.
It's one of my favorite ones. When I was a child, I used to recite every single day. And when he asked me to do this, I was so blessed. Kararvindin napadarvindam mukharvinde viniveshvayantam vatasya patra sayaputeshvayanam balamukundam manasa smarami.
Okay. I'm afraid we only have time for a very short version of this, but we're going to try the English translation, which I don't think is going to do it justice, but let's understand it in English anyway. With the lotus-like hand, placing the lotus-like toes in your lotus-like mouth, reclining on a banyan leaf, that Bal Mukund I meditate upon. Shri Thakurji blessed Kalyanag by dancing barefoot on his head. Shri Thakurji's Charanchin marks are imprinted on Kalia's head. Shri Thakurji did not kill Kalia, but taught him how to control himself, to behave himself. Shri Krishna teaches us that we do not kill our senses, but have to learn to control them, control our eating, drinking, and our senses in a way that is diverted towards Thakurji and not anywhere else. Okay, so the first Charspas ever was by Sri Yamunaji. This was when Shri Krishna, as you can see from that image, Sri Yamunaji, is doing the Charpas when Shri Krishna is being traveling. He's being taken to Gokul from Mathura by his dad. So during Krishna's journey from Mathura to Gokul in a chab, Shri Vasudev's head, on Vasudev's head, Shri Krishna traveled and Yamunaji, rose up and did the first Charspas. So let's look at what Charspas is. Shri Vallabh says all types of bhaktis are at Shri Thakurji's feet. Charspas is done by a Vaishnava by touching Shri Thakurji's feet. So how do we touch Shri Thakurji's feet? Left foot first, right foot, and then left. So why left, right, and left? Significance. Nitya Leela, we were in Pushti, grace with Sri Thakurji in his eternal abode. Therefore, we have to touch the left feet.
His left feet and my left.
No, Thakurji's left. So opposite of yours, because he's in front of you. So we drop down to Maryada, i.e. descended to the material world. Hence, we touch the right feet. And then through Brahmasaman, we came back to Pushti, condition of grace. Touch the left feet again. Every morning, a Vaishnava must do Sri Thakurji's Charan-Sparsh in this way. Lakshmiji always serving at Shri Krishna's feet, as we know. There she is. She's always there at his feet serving him. So what does that signify? Her devotion, her complete devotion, acknowledging that all her power and blessings originate from him. This supreme devotion and submission to the divine, where even goddess of fortune acknowledges her dependence on the ultimate source of creation. So Lakshmiji herself is very, very powerful, even though that she is actually worshipping Shri Thakurji's feet.
It's okay.
Yeah. This is her Navda Bhakti. Part 7 Bhakti is one of the Navda Bhakti. So this is one of the Bhaktis. Part 7 Bhakti is actually quite important because you start off by the feet and then you gradually develop from there. Hi, everyone. Everybody following through okay? Am I going too fast, too slow? Can I have thumbs up from Zoom? Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'll slow down a bit. Thanks. Shri Thakurji's Vaman avatar. So Thakurji's Vaman avatar is when he came as a dwarf, dressed as a dwarf. Vamanji asked King Bali for only 3 steps of his land. Only 3, yeah? Upon King Bali granting this, Vamanji, with the first step, captured the whole of the earth. So he was underestimated. Second step, all the upper and the regions between the earth and heaven, the Swarglok. Brahmaji washed Vamanji's feet with Ganga Jal when it arrived, when he actually put the step there. And with that, Gangaji actually attained all her divine qualities. The third step, we didn't have anywhere to put. So he actually put it on. Well, King Bali said, okay, put it on my head because I haven't got anywhere else to go, but I have to keep my promise. So when Vamanji put the third feet on his head, he was pushed into Patalok, the lower regions. Vamanji then granted King Bali a boon, and his wish was that Shri Krishna, with all his divine qualities, and Shri Krishna's Charanjin stays with him and guards him in the Patal Lok. And there's a long story, which again, as I said, probably take the whole lesson, so we'll move on from there. But that's your homework to go and find out Vamanji's story. And there is the picture of Sri Vaman on Bali's head. Okay.
So don't underestimate Thakurji.
So now we'll look at some of the Vaishnavas. Chaurasi Vaishnava Varta number 24 of Sri Puralmal Satriya, which we covered in Sreenathji's. So I'm not going to go through the whole, I'm just quickly going to recap on it. So Sreenathji appeared to Puralmal in a dream where he was in Ambala and asked him to build him a temple. Puralmal Satri immediately came down to Giriraji and was blessed by Sri Vallabh. And he relayed to Sri Vallabh saying that I've been asked in a dream by Sreenathji to build him a temple. So Sri Vallabh actually blessed him for him to carry on building the temple. Puralmal straight away went on the task and dug a whole foundation overnight. And then he continued his building for a while and he ran out of money. So this is again Thakurji's Leela. The money ran out is because he was using his father's money. It wasn't his own money. So he went out, he had trained as a jeweler when he was a kid. So he went out doing some jewelry work and earned some money. And then he came back with the money and completed the temple job, building of the temple, which I think took him about 20 years in total. However, Thakurji's Leela here is that he wanted Puralmal Satri to do his Tan Seva, which he did with his body, and then his Dhan Seva, which he did by earning. And then when Puralmal came in and it was Thakurji's Patutsav, Mahaprabhuji knew that Puralmal wanted to do a sandal-paste Seva. So he blessed him to do that. And when he did that with love, Thakurji blessed him and gave him Mansi. So his Tan, Man, and Dhan Seva was fulfilled. So the normal process is you do your Seva with body, then your money, and then with your mind, you are always in Seva. So that's the story there. Again, the power of the feet of Sri Thakurji. Achyut Das, Varta number 53 of the Chaurasi Vaishnav. Achyut Das came to Giriraji from Mathura and he was just wandering around Giriraji from town to town. When Sri Vallabh arrived and had the Pratham Milan with Sreenathji, he recognized Achyut Das as a divine Jeev. And Sri Mahaprabhuji took him under his, Puralmal surrendered to Sri Mahaprabhuji and not Puralmal, sorry, Achyut Das Ji. And then Achyut Das was blessed to have his initiation done. Achyut Das did not want to do Seva because he said, I want to do Mansi Seva. I'm not cut out to do Seva, do the Seva Kram. So Mahaprabhuji, realizing this, actually blessed him to have his Mansi Seva done. This was done because Achyut Das, Sri Mahaprabhuji gave him his Charnodrak and, the water that is washed, Abhishek of Sri Thakurji, and that Achyut Das consumed some, touched some on his eyes and on his head and his heart, and his Mansi was done. His Mansi was Siddh, was achieved, yeah. So the next story is Krishna Bhatt's story. This is Yadunathji's favorite. He always recites this story in his kathas. And I thought I'm not going to miss this opportunity to recite it here. So Krishna Bhatt, Varta number 2 of Dosoban Vaishnava, he is Sri Gosaiji's Sevak. Krishna Bhatt was a Vaishnava who was doing Sri Krishnaji's Seva very lovingly. But Sreenathji noticed that he would never ever do his Charspas. So Sreenathji said to Gosaiji when he came in that, your Seva, Krishna Bhatt, he never does my Charspas. And I'd like him to do my Charspas. So Gosaiji said, hey, Krishna Bhatt, do you hear this? Sreenathji is saying you never do his Charspas. So Krishna Bhatt said, yeah, Prabhu, I do not want to inconvenience the Lord. It's for my sake that I'm doing this. And it doesn't benefit Sreenathji at all. So that's why I don't do it. I don't want to trouble him. So at that point, Sri Gosai said, Krishna Bhatt, Srinathji wants you to do his Charaspas. And Srinathji then raised his feet for Krishna Bhatt to do his Charaspas, upon which Krishna Bhatt was over the moon. He did the Charaspas and he achieved all the Seva falls, and his Seva actually progressed tremendously from then on. He then didn't have to do Charaspas again. It was just all there for him. He was blessed. But his bhav was very, very important. Again, the samarthya of Sri Thakurji's feet, right? So we do charan first by touching of Sri Thakurji's feet. Charan Raj, dust of Sri Thakurji's feet. Charan Sugandh is fragrance of Sri Thakurji's feet. Charan chains are the birthmarks of Sri Thakurji's feet. So I think we're going quite well. I don't think we want to break now, do we? Let's just carry on. Okay, we carry on. Okay, so Charan chains, Thakurji's right foot. Let's see what are the chains on Thakurji's right foot. There are a total of 16 charans. 9 chains are on the right, which is called Dakshin Charan. Dwaja, which is the flag, which is the 7 flags you see on top of Sri Giriraji and Srinathji's temple. All different colors, rainbow colors. Each signifies his different seasons, different bhavs, and different. Oh, it also represents the 7 balaks, actually. Ankush, we'll go through each one after this. Vrajra, Swastik, Udvarekha, Kamal, Kalash, Ashtakon, and Jav. These are 9 on the right feet. On the left feet, there's 7. Yeah, we're going to cover each one as we go along. Yeah, so we're going to go in detail in each one. Okay, the 7 chains on left foot, Vam Charan. Matsya, which is a fish. Dhanush, which is a bow and arrow. Trikon, triangle. Gaupad, which is the hoof print of a cow. Akash, which is the sky. Other Chandra, which is half a moon, quote crescent, yeah. And Chambu, which is Indian blackberry.
What's the significance of the thing?
We'll come to it. We're going to cover each one now in detail.
Everybody okay there? Any questions?
Everybody okay in Zoom? Are we keeping up? Am I going too fast, too slow? Everyone's fine?
Yeah.
Any questions on chat? Thank you. Okay, so let's look at Dwajaji, the flags. 7 flags on Srinathji's temple are 7 bows. Sri Harraji explains, with Sri Thakurji's and Sri Vallabh's Krupa and Pushti meditation of Dwajaji, you become Abhay, fearless. Fear of sansar disappears. No need for any sansar support. You will have Sri Thakurji. Example, Kumandas once, when he was asked by a king, fearlessly told him, I don't want to address you. By looking at you, I'm unable to focus and seeing my Lord's glory. So I'm not going to talk to you. I don't want to address you. I'd rather go with my Srinathji and talk to him in front of him. So he wasn't afraid of the king. Always remain happy. Sri Thakurji's will prevail. All is Leela. Remember, final destination is Leela. So this is to do with sansar and how to move away from there. Okay. The second is you gain knowledge of Sri Thakurji's Swarup. Pushtimarg knowledge. Sri Thakurji's happiness knowledge. Knowledge to swim and not to sink. Knowledge not to do dosh darshan of others, only see goodness. Knowledge of self. Knowledge of seva. Knowledge to increase Prabhu Bhav and Bhakti. So just by doing the meditation of the Dwajaji and the 7 flags, you get all these benefits and you become fearless. Sri Haraji further explains that Wind blows and the flags start waving and flying. The blowing of the wind and flying of the flag is when Sri Thakurji's Krupa Seva is performed by you. So Ankush. Ankush is, an elephant is controlled by the use of an Ankush by a Mahout. So Ankush is a small little tool which is shaped like that. And the Mahout, when he's riding the elephant, he uses this to control him, to move him to the left. Behind his ear, he's prodding it. So he then moves to the left or right, depending on where you prod him, and he controls him like that. So this is the chain is in the right foot. Similarly, we need to control our larger than elephant mind. As with an elephant, we go where our mind takes us. Elephant is supreme animal and will destroy forest and anything else that comes into its path. Our mind is supreme as well, and it always wants sansar, but also destroys. The mind also destroys things. Mind is very selfish. It only cares for itself. Mind is difficult to control, and we will need help to control it. 99% of people are stopped from committing pap, sin, by circumstances. Sri Thakurji's Krupa to keep us away from pap by always creating circumstances that stops us from committing pap. I don't think I want to dwell on that. I'm sure we all can relate to this. So it's his Krupa that we are stopped from doing things we are not supposed to do. And whenever you're stopped, then you have to take it as his blessing. And obviously, you meditated on the Ankush Charanji, and so it's helping you even more. Shiharaji explains that meditation on the Ankush chain grants Sri Thakurji's Krupa on the control of the mind. With grace, you may guide the mind to go to good places and have good thoughts.
Now you know why do we do Janspash. Because all these are there.
So Bhavna Ben saying we do Charnspas and we feel all these chains. So actually, one of the lines we should put on the Charnspas slide is say that when you're actually doing the Charnspas, we should think of each and every chain. So when you have the right foot, you should think of the 9 on the right and the 7 on the left. Not just think, meditate and feel them under Thakurji's feet.
Whatever you remember.
So the Charnspas is not left, right, left, Karine Bhagiya. Take your time feeling each and every.
80%.
Yes. I think we all do it, like very quickly saying, okay, this is like the fastest thing ever. So now let's all stop doing it and remember what these are. And, remember the 16 chains. And we'll cover something in the end again, which will show you the benefit. Okay, so that's Ankush. Away from depression, anxiety, unsteady, and bad thoughts. Vajra, which is the thunderbolt. The weapon of Indra, the god of devs. It is made of, very strong bones of Maharishi Dadichi. It is as hard as a diamond and represents dharma, firmness of spirit and spiritual powers. Shiharaji explains Vajra crosses large mountains. Vajra Charanji in meditation adds destruction of our 2 mountains of Pap and Dukh and assists in attaining Punya and Sukh. Pap and Dukh, commit Pap, get Dukh. Punya and Sukh, commit Punya and get Sukh. With Thakurji, with Sriji's Krupa upon meditation of the Vajra chain, all sins are crushed, both of the previous and present births, and one attains Bhakti Bhav. Okay, swastik, Mangal sign. I'll just explain the spelling of swastik. It's quite an interesting thing when I was doing my research. There's 2 spellings of swastik. So we are going to be careful which one we use because the other one is belonging to our friend Hitler and the Germans. So we got to be very careful. I had a lot of debate on this, and I think I eventually settled on this one. But I'm sure I've got a few in the audience and on Zoom who are going to come back to me and say, okay, this is the right one or the wrong one. So please help me. Okay, so it's a Mangal sign, brings goodness and removes badness. Draws attention to Sakti. The four arms signifies the four Purushats. So the Maryada Purushats and the Pushti Purushats. We're going to compare each one. So in Maryada, Dharma is a Purushat. In Pushti, we say Tap, which is longing and missing Thakurji. So when you're in Seva, you're loving him. When you're away from Seva, you are longing him and thinking about him while he goes out. He's with his Gaucharan and all that. Okay, second is Earth, which in Pushti Marg, it's Gungan, singing Sri Thakurji's praises is what we do. Third is calm. For us is humility, dinta. We must thrive on dinta. We must have dinta, not have ego. Must be very humble and thin. Fourth is moksha. In Pushti Marg, that's vairagya. We have to be detached. We have to have detachment. We have to have attachment to Sri Thakurji only. Don't get overly excited with your attachments with people because they only end up hurting in the long run. To attain the four Purushats, satsang is required, and remembrance of the gopis who are our guru, reciting of Venugit and Yugal Git during Anuso. So when Thakurji is away, we are thinking about the Venugit and the Yugal Git and remembering him lovingly and missing him. Okay, Udva Rekha. So Udva Rekha is a long straight line which goes upwards from Sri Thakurji's right charan. So from bottom to up. So I've got the charan and I've actually marked it with an arrow showing the line there. So it's like a mark on the feet, like we have the lines in our hand. Similarly, the line in the feet which goes upwards. It represents wealth, auspiciousness, and courage. It travels upwards, as should our thoughts and mindsets. Move from the bottom, lowly thoughts, to upwards, the best thoughts of Sri Thakurji and Leela. Meditation on Udva Rekha blesses one with Chintan of Nitya Leela and longing for Prabhu's company. I am a Vaishnava. I belong to Sri Thakurji. Only do good deeds and move away from lowly and negative deeds. So, Hariraiji has got a whole pad and writing on Leela Chintan. And if you really want to do Leela Chintan, I would highly recommend that you go through that and you will be you'll be truly blessed and in bliss land forever. And I think you should do that on a daily basis, time permitting, and if you are blessed and have the krupa. Tilak is adorned from bottom upwards like Udva Rekha. So when you do your tilak on the head, just remember of Udva Rekha and take your thoughts upwards to the best and better things in life. Kamal, lotus. Yamnaji represents lotus. Yamnaji is always around lotuses. She has 3 lotuses in her hand, like Lalitabai covered in the previous session. Kamal is the creation of Vishnu Bhagwan from his navel. Is not created by Brahmaji during the creation of our world. So it was actually created by Vishnu Bhagwan himself. So it's outside Srushti. Kamal grows and lives in water but does not touch water. Similarly, we must grow and live in sansar but not to get attached to the sansar. Red Kamal, beautiful. Red is love, rasrup color. Only grows with water, and similarly, your bhav grows with wet eyes. So when you're in real bhav, you start having tears of joy, tears of being in bliss, tears of being in love. So, red is the color of anurag, love. Vaishnavas are a Sikh. They have ras, they have juice, and have wet hearts, and so bhakti and bhav grows. Kalash is a pot filled with water. I think we all know what Kalash is, I hope. The water symbolizes Amrit. the nectar of immortality. And swastik is placed, drawn at the center, as you can see. Mangal, auspicious chain, always filled with jal and present is present at all auspicious occasion and ceremonies. So whenever we're performing ceremonies, we have a kalash with a coconut leaves, and so this is the significance as to why we have the kalash. It's for Mangal, auspicious chain. A Vaishnav considers that their heart is a kalash filled with Prabhu Bhav and Bhakti. So our heart is a kalash, which is not filled with water, but with Prabhu Bhav and Prabhu Bhakti. So we move on to Ashtakon, which is the octagon shape. Shiharraji explains, meditation on the Ashtakon grants the 8 Pushti Siddhis, which are the divine Siddhis, as recited in Sri Yamunastakam, and the 8 Siddhis, which are the material Siddhis. So if you meditate upon the Ashtakon, you attain all this. The 8 Siddhis, the 8 Pushti Siddhis are divine body for Sri Thakurji's seva, increased love for Sri Thakurji, removal of all bhakti hindrances, builds a relationship with Sri Thakurji, removal of all Kali Yuga hindrances, which are different from the bhakti hindrances, capability to sustain Sri Thakurji's love, realization of your divine form, your Sakhi form, attain of Maharas. So these, when you recite Yamnastak, these are the benefits and the siddhis you get. Similarly, when you actually meditate upon the Astakon, these are the siddhis you attain. Sri Yamunaji's Krupa grants the 8 Pushti siddhis. The Astasakhi's Krupa grants the 8 Yog siddhis. Are we all okay so far? One more chain on the right to do, which are 9. Are we all okay on Zoom? Following through everything? Can hear me loud and clear? Okay, so the 9th chain, which is the last chain on the right foot, is Jav, which is the king of grains and is utilized in Yagna. Yagna is one of the many forms of Shri Krishna. Shri Harraji explains, Jav is the highest form of Kriti, form, and Jav aids knowledge of Prabhu's Kriti, fame. Jav grows quickly. Like Jav, we can now make quick spiritual progress because we are conscious of the prejudices that lurk in our hearts and minds. By doing so many so far 8 chains, we have now progressed to going to the next level. Like Jav, we can grow our bhakti bhav and progress in that direction. So now we go to the left foot. Left foot, first is Matsya, which is fish. That's the Prabhu's avatar as Matsya Narayan. So that's not the chain, by the way. I've just put that image to demonstrate what Matsya is, which is a fish. So fish is very chanchal. It's very, very unsteady, like our mind. Our mind is unsteady. It's like a monkey, always jumping from one thing to another and always wanting to grab whatever you can and eat. Classic example is when you go and do Girraji Parikrama. Mind you, Giraji monkeys are much more better than Vandravan monkeys because every time Vandravan monkeys get my glasses, and I end up paying a lot of money getting it back. And how does that work? You have to throw a tutti frutti, and the tutti frutti's price goes up the moment you lose your glasses. So you have to pay these guys for the tutti frutti. The tutti frutti goes to the monkey up, somebody throws him, and he throws your glasses back. Personally, I think all these Brajvasis have cleverly learned the tricks from Sri Krishna and trained the monkeys to take your glasses. So then the latest one is they take your phones as well. So when you're busy filming, be careful, your phones will go. So I had this incident. I got to recite this one, definitely. Alka went shopping into one of the sweet shops, and I said, I'm not coming. I'm sat in the car with the driver. I had my window wound up and just left it a bit open. And you can guess what happened. Just a bit. Trust me, it was very, very small amount because it was very hot. A monkey came along and I was oblivious that he was on the side. He put his hand through this small gap in the window. And trust me, it was very small. He flicked my glasses and took them away. I mean, how safe can you be? So from now on, I go blind in Vandravan. I just remove my glasses. And unfortunately, I don't have Shri Krishna's darshan when he wants to give it to me. But hey, he's in my heart, so I don't need his sight. I'm happy to have him, have him in my heart when I'm in Vandravan. Right, guys, are you all following? Yes. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verses 33 to 36. Arjun says to Shri Krishna, how to control the mind. It is like the wind, very difficult to control. Are we guys all the same? Yeah, we also find it very difficult to control our minds. Or have you got anybody who's now managed to control their mind? Nobody's managed it. My God, Kaki, I thought you would have by now, Kaki. So how do you control your mind?
Through this satsang we might.
Yeah, satsang can help controlling it. Shri Krishna says path by practice and renunciation. So we need to practice to control our mind and have detachment. The bhav is we must perform the pushti practice and the pushti renunciation. So pushti practice, I think we all know, but I'll just quickly touch on what pushti renunciation is. What is pushti renunciation? Pushti renunciation is not becoming a sadhu, leaving your home and going into a cave or in some isolated place and letting go of everything and starting to live in a renunciate way. No. Pushti bhakti is you become renunciate by your mind, through your head. So outwardly you do everything, but inwardly you are not attached to any of the things. You're only attached to your Thakurji who you serve and who you believe in. You constantly don't get attached to the worldly bits. That is your Pushti renunciation. Again, it is one of the topics Shri Mahaprabhuji has covered in the Sodas Granth, Sannyas Nirnay. It is a lovely, lovely works by Sri Mahaprabhuji, and I'm sure we're going to cover it with Shri Yadunathji's blessing and Bhavna Ben's permission in the Sodas Granth module. She said yes.
Long way to go. Yeah.
Long way to go. So the fish needs water and cannot survive without water, right? So the bhav here is we need Sri Thakurji. We cannot survive without our Sri Thakurji. So, we should not be able to even fish even for a second out of the water, tadpe, she's like desperate to get back into the water. Otherwise she dies. Similarly, we should have that bhav for our Sri Thakurji. We should not be able to live without him for even a second. We should be always thinking about him, what he's doing. I've done my seva, I left him. Has he gone to Vandravan to do doing the Gai charwaying and all that? Or is he back? Is he going to sleep? Does he need some water? Does he need some milk? That's the constant bhav you're in, right? So we cannot survive without Thakurji. So meditation on the Matsya Charan chain helps to control your mind and develop practice and renunciation. Dhanush is strong but very flexible. We must be strong, firm, and flexible. So being Vaishnavas doesn't mean you're not strong and firm. Yeah, you can be thin, but you can still be strong, firm, and flexible is where your humility comes in. So you don't pick a fight, you walk away from a fight. That's your strength. That's your flexibility. That's your firmness, to give you an example. To string a dhanush, we need to flex it. You need to bend the dhanush to actually string it. In sansar, we must be strong, firm, and humble. Meditation of the Dhanushman Charan chain adds this. Ability to be strong and yet calm, agile, flexible, and respectful. So, when you meditate on this, you gain all these siddhis on the bow and arrow. The arrow aiming at the target. So, the mind aiming at Sri Thakurji, practice and focus. So, we should always aim at Sri Thakurji so that we hit the target every time with our mind, not with the arrow. So now we come to tricon, triangle. Sri Harraji says, Jeeves have three types of gunas: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So I hope you all know what sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic is. Sattvic is in the mode of goodness, rajasic in the mode of passion, and tamasic in the mode of ignorance. Again, it's covered in the Bhagavad Gita quite in detail, and as well as quite a lot of Sri Gosaiji's Dosoban Vaishnava stories. 84 of his Vaishnavas were sattvic, 84 were rajasic, and 84 were tamasic. So basically, what we are being told here is that you can be in any mode to be a Pushti Margya Vaishnava. You don't need to be in any one of those. I think one important realization I've had while I was doing this is that you are always in any one of the mixed modes. You're not always in sattvic or always in rajasic or always in tamasic. Your nature is changing all the time. And you also have a mixture. So when you do the Gopi Git and you do it in detail, you will see that the gopis are sattvic, rajasic, sattvic, tamasic, and so on and so forth. So similarly, we are like that. We are always in different modes at different types. So depending on what sort of food we've had, what sort of mood we are in, what sort of people we're exposed to, our gunas change accordingly. Hence, we have to associate, go to satsangs and associate with people who are, going to give you your mode, which gets you to attend and get closer to Sri Thakurji. That doesn't mean you don't associate with tamasic Vaishnavas. Sometimes tamasic is much more powerful than sattvic because they are actually determined, they have got one-minded determination to go for something and they go for it. So all Vaishnavas with Guru Krupa are uplifted as soon as we take shelter. Sri Thakurji will not waste time on trying to change your gunas, accepts Vaishnavas as they are because of the promise to Sri Mahaprabhuji to accept all his disciples with all their dosh. Example, Shishupal's story. He was forgiven 100 times. He swore at Sri Krishna over 100 times. And then on the 100th time, Sri Krishna blessed him and did his Odar. Gajendra's story. He remembered Sri Krishna when he was in the claps of the crocodile's mouth. And when he remembered Sri Krishna rescued him. So meditation on the triangle aids development of the best bhav in your current gun. So that's what we touched on. So you can be in any gun and Sri Thakurji will, accept that bhav from you. Gaupad, hoof print of Go Mataji. So, all the devtas reside within Go Mata. So when you feed Go Mata, it's equivalent to feeding all the devtas. One who has surrendered to Shri Krishna has become Sharnagat. For that person, the ocean of sansar is easy to cross and overcome as easily as jumping over the puddle of water created by the Gopad, the hoof mark of Go Mataji. So, when the cow is walking around, leaves its hoof print, and there's some water gathered on it, how easy is it to jump over that water? So if you are Shanagat and if you've got your Brahmasaman and you are completely surrendered to Shri Krishna, sansar is very easy to cross, as easy as jumping over the water of the hoof mark.
I hope you understand that. It's quite serious, actually.
Yes. So,
It's quite, like we do everything in life, we learn everything in life. But when the moment comes when we have to apply, we forget everything. So when we constantly recite all these things and we do Chansparsh every day, one of these chin has to be in our mind because it makes us cross over the sansar. That's why all this is so important. We might find a little bit boring, we might fall asleep, but we need to wake up and say, okay, what was that again? Remind, because this is very, very important that you apply that every day. Very important.
Thank you, Bhavnaman. So meditation on the Gopad grants you blessing of becoming a Sharnagat, surrender to Sri Thakurji, gives you the fall of yatra of all the tirthas, of all the devtas as all the devtas reside in the Gaumata. So when you do the meditation of God, you can have yatra of all the tirthas. Akash, which is space, ether. Akash is everywhere and is our support. It's our Aadhar. We are dependent upon it. Shri Thakurji is everywhere and our support and always doing what is best for us. So don't think when something goes wrong, he's not done best for you. He's always doing best for you. Wait for the results of anything you think is bad, and then you'll realize that maybe this was good that happened. Sometimes it's not bearable. There's some real hard things that people go through in life, and people do question, my God, is this Thakurji's Icha and all that? But yes, it's his Icha, and he's doing everything for the best. You just have to carry on. Shri Thakurji is fully capable. He's our strength. We are not at all capable. All his Krupa, it's his grace. Only Shri Thakurji's Krupa grants us capability, strength, and knowledge of Seva. Adar Chandra, half moon. Adar Chandra represents ever-changing nature of life. Adar Chandra resides on Sivji's head and Shri Thakurji's Charan Kamal. So when you look at Sivji's Swarup everywhere, his statues as well as his Chitrajis, there's always a half moon or a quarter moon or a the shape of the moon behind his face. Yeah. So his yeah. So it stabilizes life and is affected by is not affected, is unaffected by time. Shivji represents Kalyan, the welfare of people, their health, support, and prosperity, destroys bad omens. Sri Thakurji represents all good omens. Jambu fir, Sri Haraji explains. People always pray for the attainment of worldly, laukik sukh, and are granted their wishes. So Thakurji always grants everything you ask for in one form or another. Vaishnavas must pray for the attainment of Sri Thakurji's happiness, divine happiness, alaukik sukh. So don't ask for your, Thakurji knows what you want. He gives you whatever you want. If you ask, he might end up giving you less than what he wants to give you. So please don't ask for anything. Just think about him and his happiness, and he will always look after you. Let's look at an example. So Kumandas's wife, Shima Prabhuji, went up to Shima Prabhuji and asked for a son, and she had 7 sons. Kumandas, being the Vaishnava he is with Sri Vallabh's Krupa and being one of the Ashtasakas, came out and said to his wife, "Oh my God, what have you asked for? Why did you ask for a son? You could have asked for Sri Thakurji and we would have been blessed forever. He asked you for something and you asked for a son." So it gives you an example. Don't ask for your Laukik Sukh, ask for a Laukik Sukh. So if you have Thakurji, what do you need a son or 7 sons for you? You've got your Sri Thakurji looking after you. Okay, meditation on the Charan chain of Jambu grants you your desires. Always desire the best and divine. So now let's look at what we attain by meditation of Sreenathji's 16 Charan chains, which fulfills all 16 furls. So when we meditate on Sreenathji's 16 Charan chains to fulfill all 16 furls, right? We are ahead of time. I hope everybody's with me. Am I going too fast?
Well, you're not falling asleep.
A couple of people have said that I've gone fast, but please ask any questions if you have. Put it on chat. You can raise your hand here. I'll try and answer them, but I'm sure Bhavna will surely answer them.
Try to.
Bhavna will try to answer them. Okay, so what I'm saying to all of you guys on Zoom, as well as present here, as well as anybody in future who listens to this on this recording, whenever it's shared with anybody, please try for 1 month of daily meditation of the Charan chains and become fearless. Right? This is the challenge. You got to try it. I'll tell you at the end. Your unfulfilled wishes will be granted and all your Laukik divine Maranats will be fulfilled. You will become confident, always thinking the best and in control of your emotions. Always desire the best. Today's complimentary class participants, here's your challenge. For 1 month of Sreenathji's Charan Chin meditation, Zoom. Give us some feedback after a month by sending us emails or messages, as well as sharing your experiences within a month. I will tell you from my own personal experiences. I listened to a YouTube discourse on the Charan chains during COVID, and a similar thing was said to me. So I said, yeah, okay, I'm going to take up this challenge. I sat down, I wrote down the 16 Charan chains. I actually got the images of the Charan chains every day without fail. First week was impossible. I could not remember. I had to keep on getting my piece of paper out. I had to keep on getting my diagrams out. I had to keep on asking Alka to remind me, things like that. So eventually, within a week or two, I actually managed to memorize them all. And to date, I recite them every time. And trust me, in the 2 years, my life has changed. It has changed tremendously. I have become fearless. I'm in business. I have very powerful suppliers supplying me, and I would always quietly listen to what they had to say and take on all the nonsense they would throw at me because they were very powerful and I thought I needed them. Last 2 years, I've been talking back to them and actually kicking back, saying, hey, this is not acceptable. And you know what? I didn't realize I was doing this. It was just happening naturally. It wasn't done through consciously at all. They commented back saying in the past 2 years I had changed. And that's when my realization came. I was just thinking how this happened. That is my low kick, right? My low kick I can't share with you. I've really progressed tremendously with Sriji's blessing. And I'm truly blessed to have a flat in Vandravan and be able to go there twice a year. So, what more blessing do you need? Before we had a flat before, I was always reluctant to go. My wife Alka would go, she would go on her own, she would do all her stuff. In the past 4 years, I've started joining her. And in the past 2 years, my life experiences have changed. And I attribute this to a lot of Krupa and everything else, but also to the recitation of the Charan chains. So that's why I've done the Charan chains.
So let me add something here.
Since
Since he changed himself, since it came very natural to him, Thakurji made him come here to share that and teach others to say, have faith in my feet. All the chains are there for a reason. So when we surrender, that's what the Gitaji will say, surrender to me. But what do we surrender to? Because we only see a murti of Thakurji. So if we understand each part of Sri Thakurji, we don't know him. But if you understand by doing all this kind of satsang, you given all these chains, you memorize each one of them and meditate. Take a task because nothing comes on your plate. And even if a dinner, you have to cook and make sure it's right cooked, yeah? Everything comes on a plate with a big effort. So even this to learn and satsang and be divine and experience and forgive people, forgive yourself. All these things happens when you start towards this journey. You need to learn because otherwise we can just sit here, learn and go and home and forget about it. But it is very well said that, yeah, you do need to meditate one thing at a time. Don't take all the targets on yourself, but it does work. It does work.
So we got your monthly challenge. We'll see you at next month's monthly satsang. But before we go, we have to thank you. By the way, humble request, please, if there are any mistakes, correct them. Yeah, go on. There's a question. Yeah.
Can you please explain the Gopadachi again?
Yeah, Gaupad Chid, right? So Gaupad is the hoof print of a cow. So you know what a hoof print is, right? It's the print mark which the cow leaves on the earth, on the sand in Raj or wherever. So when cow is going around, they'll leave their hoof prints on there. So that's a hoof print. So the hoof print is a chain, which is the mark on Sri Thakurji's feet, on his left feet. Now I'm testing myself. So the Pad's benefits are that, when you actually meditate upon it, you actually become very thin and your bhav and everything increases, and that you can cross the difficulties and your management with sansar just as easily as when you step over the puddle of water which is in the Gaupad. So, when the print is there and there's water in there, and when you jump over it, it's so easy to jump that because it's a small puddle. Whereas, if you had to jump a bigger river or anything like that, it would be much more, an ocean, it's much more difficult. So by doing the meditation of the Gaupad, you can overcome your sansar difficulties just as easily as that. The key there is, it's not only the Gaupad, you go to be Sharanagat. You got to be humble. You have to surrender yourself to Shri Krishna, and then it happens. Is that okay, Kushi? Are you happy? Yeah? Great. Thank you. Okay. So one humble request. There might be many mistakes in this presentation, in my talk. Please forgive me for those. Please correct them. Please let me know where my mistakes are so I can correct them in the future. And if I've committed any inadvertent offenses, please forgive me. Jai Shri Krishna. We'll now go to the Ashrinotpad.
Okay, one more thing I want to add. So, when we do Chansparsh, I mean, if you look at all the chins, like for instance, for moon, he resides on the Shivji Jata, yeah? But where does it reside on Thakurji?
On his feet.
Charanma. જે માથામાં પકડે છે ઈ ચરણમાં છે. All the Devi Devta in the cow and the hoofs is there. Where is it? It represents all the Devi Devta, Prabhuna Charanma. Everything is in his charan. So why do we fluff around, look somewhere else? Just look at his feet. Every time you have issue, go to the feet. Whoever, they're all represents, they're all weapons to help us through the sansar. Everything we go and run individually, we look outside, but we don't know it's in his charan. So if we reside in his charan, you got all the answers. Why do we go everywhere else? Anya jap karao, anya manta mano, anya am karo, but everything, all that, it is in charan chin. Recite. All this. Yeah, just look at the charan chin, look at the meaning, close your eyes and say, I bow down to you, Thakurji, because you have this power. In individual power, we just went through all of them. Because the sansar is full of power, and which is in his chin. Everything we covered, it covers the universe, it covers the wind, it covers the akas, it covers the surrender, it covers the Devi Devta, it covers, even the smallest thing we look around us, which is all in his feet. So,
is there a translated version rather than?
Yes. This is much more detailed. But the suggestion I'd make to you is that
Because if I read that, I'll make a mistake.
No.
No.
Small steps. You can
Small
have it in
steps.
any language. There are many other languages. So, but you start with small steps.
So what I would suggest you to do is look at each charan chin. Just read the meaning. Now, whatever you understand of each meaning, grasp that meaning into you, close your eyes and devote to that. You don't have to memorize the translation, but that comes over time. But every day you read one charan chin, the meaning, close your eyes and say, you have this in your charan. I surrender to you. That's all you have to do. Meditate. Yeah. Every time. Now, small steps makes into a bigger step. Once you start connecting to those charan chin, you will feel the urge to learn more because you need to start somewhere. So when you start these little steps in each charan chin, your atma will crave for more because you're experimenting it. You can only experiment and then feel it. Once you feel it, you want to surrender. Now, every night you will sleep. If you've done one charan chin, that's going to come in your mind and say, what was it? What was it again? So have the text next to you. Read it again. Because once you start this process, believe me, you want to learn more. Because Thakurji himself will say, now he's taking one step, I'm going to go towards him 10 steps and help him. So never give up. Start somewhere. Just even the Chitraji. Look at the Chitraji. And once you read the meaning quickly, look at the Chitraji, meditate on that and say, now I understand. What are you? Who are you? What your charan represents? Why do we do Chansparsh? Now I know. So every time you be humble and surrender and say, now I've learned, now I know, that surrender vow will make you inquisitive to learn more. Because people learn, read, and then they don't practice. So if you practice every 10, 20 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day, that's going to enhance pushing the energy towards Thakurji. Once the Thakurji sees that within you, he will come move towards you and say, okay, now this one, do this one. Today you're sitting here. Why? Because you had a little bit of inquisitive in your life that's made you come here. Why there's not thousands of people sitting here? Why there's only selective? Because in Pushtimarg is selective, not elected. Yeah. So this is the difference between the satsang and having just a conference.
I'll just add to that. What Bhavna Ben said is it's also controlling your mind. So when you're actually doing the Charan Chin meditation, your mind is not wandering anywhere else. It is focused on Thakurji's feet. So slowly, one at a time, mind has come under control. And then you've been graced. You've taken the first step. You're remembering one. You'll gradually build up, build up, build up. And it'll just grow from there. So, but you have to take the small step first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's easy. Trust me, it's easy once you start, but you start slowly. Don't try and say you're going to do all 16 and start with that. Just try, and it's easy. And any language you want it translated into. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but you might surprise. It's all matter of taking a step.
Okay. Any questions on Zoom? Anybody on chat? Everybody fine? Are we all awake? Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
So you can do the question here was, can you meditate the Charan chain anytime? Yes, you can, because there's no need to do aparas. There's no need to, because it actually gives that moment of you taking away from the lifestyle we have, taking that time away from 5-10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to have a break. Let me just do a Charan chain meditation. Who knows? It might enhance you do more better in the daytime what you do. So taking that's what Mahaprabhuji says. Carry on with your duties, do everything what you have to do, but take some time out and encourage and self-meditate. So all these are excuse for you to meditate. Yeah.
So what I'll suggest is when you want to do the meditation, just gather yourself for 2 minutes before you start, clear your mind, cleanse yourself internally of all the negative thoughts and everything, then start focusing on one. So you've actually cleansed inwardly. It doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. I think, this can be done 24/7, anywhere, any place. But I'd like to hear after a month where you are. And then hopefully after 6 months, you'll tell me how far you progress. Okay, we proceed. Huh?
Put that one away.
Yeah, put your phones away. You should have done that at the beginning. Okay, let's do the Ashrayinopad. Bhavna Ben.
I hope on the Zoom, I hope you enjoyed this session, because there's so many topics in Pushtimarg. I'm sure you all be listening from different places. But this is to encourage in English so we can teach our children, even the little slight percentage from this every time you talk to your children. Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? And I think if you ask them and say, oh no, I don't, then you share all this knowledge, it will really enhance their spirituality too. So let's just finish this song today. Viram kari apde Ashray Padnu. Shri Vallabha Prabhu Karu Jagat Shri Vallabha ke charan kamal ki bali jaaye. Shri Vallabha Prabhu Karuna Sagar Jagat Jagat Vallabha Shrishti Samaj Sangamila Jivan Ko Shri Vallabha Gari Jahi Sika Kaha Shri Vallabha Prabhu Karuna Sagar Jagat Ujagar Gaiye. जगत उजागर, जगत उजागर गाइए। श्रीवल्लभ श्रवण समाज संग में जीवन को फल पाओ। श्रीवल्लभ का या रसिका कहाँ जाइत रसिका कहाँ जाइत रसिका कहाँ। श्री वल्लभाधीश की जय, श्री गुसाई जी परम दयाल की जय, श्याम सुंदर श्री यमुने महारानी जी की जय, श्री गोवर्धन नाथ की जय, श्री यदुनाथ जी प्यारे की जय, श्री गोपाल लाल प्यारे की जय। આપણા ઘરે બિરાજમાન શ્રી ઠાકોરજીના ચરણ કમલમાં સર્વ સમર્પણ આજે જે પણ શીખાય એના ચરણમાં અર્પણ કરી દઈએ, જેથી we are always humble and empty and he gives us more and more information. And thank you very much for joining in. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ બધાને.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Anand, I hope you enjoy Holi.
ખૂબ ખૂબ બધાય હોળી ઉત્સવની
Holi
બધાયને
Utsav, badaai, yeah.
બધાય.
Have
Jai
fun.
Shri Krishna. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
Shri Krishna.
Is it possible to get a copy of that?
Yeah, it will be uploaded.
Search in the net.
No, you don't need to search the net. You've got all the information here. You'll confuse you more if you search on the net because there's thousands of information which you don't need to know really. Yeah, just grasp on what we've given you. So
I'll just go ahead and give my head after.
she probably doesn't know half of the stuff because most of them don't.